Shannon. Good morning, everyone. I think as we've been moving down the table here, you're quite aware that we're pretty blessed with the number of post-secondary opportunities that exist for our students in North America. Geographic location, admission criteria, program offerings, special opportunities, and the social opportunities, and all the specializations within make it, you know, if there's 5,000 universities, then how much do we compound that by when we put all these factors into play? And it makes it a pretty big project for someone. But they all do have some similarities. They all matter. People are at these schools for a reason. They have found a fit. They all offer something for someone. They all have alumni that till the end of their days will talk about how wonderful the experience was and why it mattered to them. And then with everyone who's here now, there's probably something about all these universities that's important that we don't know. And that's why it's good that we do these kinds of networking things. So what does a student need to do in sort of the early stages of their thinking and as they start moving through that process? And I'm really sort of thinking as I talk around my talk being centered on a perspective to an approach, and listening and thinking sort of as the initial stages through this. So when I'm working with people, I tend to sort of poke away at a few things and see where they might be at with this. You know, ask them, at this time in your life, what is it that truly matters? It's a big question, very difficult to sometimes answer, takes a little time to work through that. What am I good at? And how might that link to some of the emerging fields that we heard a little bit about? What do I seem to be drawn to? What am I being told? And how does that match with how I truly feel? Because those often don't run parallel, and that can be confusing. You may have a mom that wants you to go somewhere that you don't want to go, for example. And aside from something I would like to study, what colleges out there are offering me, or seem to be able to offer me, an opportunity to be me? And as a point of balance to all that self-examination, what might my friends say? When I interview kids, I tend to ask them, you know, tell me 3 words you think might work for yourself, and then if you quickly come back with, tell me 3 things that your friend might say, that one takes a little longer to work through. Because, for one simple reason, we don't see in ourselves what others see. It's just the nature of how it works. So our self-understanding, coupled with external thinking, can often be a powerful mixture for what provides us direction in the understanding we seek. So where does one go to help sort of pull all that together, to walk through some level of self-awareness and some external information about ourselves that helps us fine-tune some of our thinking? I would submit that we're standing right in the middle of such a place through today and through tomorrow. There's a depth of experience all around us. We learn from each other as counselors. We learn from the colleges that we get to speak with. And there's also external expertise here to help with all of that, to help that gel if that's something that is required. And Prep Skills clearly is someone that excels in that area. And in addition to Prep Skills, there's also other external people around that can help with that sort of focus or help through that process. And I think that's an important thing for us all to remember as we do our work, because this is a really important process that's going to have some really long-term impacts on the people we work with. And I know that sometimes in the moment of conversation, it's not that hard to lose that perspective and to look through the eyes of the people that we sometimes get a chance to work with. So, that all sounds great. How did that work out for me? In grade 13, and I think I was the second last year to do grade 13, I'd have to go back and work that math out. My calculus teacher that year showed me more than calculus. Sam Mercurio will forever be a name that I will never forget. He showed me how to believe in me. I had a coach that taught me that if I wanted something, I could do it. And time allowed me to better understand what that meant to me. And here's what I ended up choosing. Here's what I ended up determining that I really wanted. I wanted the University of Notre Dame. It fit me spiritually, programmatically, and it fit me socially. But in one really key area, it completely did not fit me. It did not fit me financially. And so I waited. I went to another school for my first 2 undergraduate degrees, small population, focused programs, athletics, and social opportunities that were good fits for me. And it was a good match. And during that time, I found clarity around those big questions as I grew and matured and became more aware of myself. What truly mattered? What am I good at? What do I seem to be drawn to? What am I being told? What do I truly feel? And what would I like to do in a place, and where can I be me? And through all that, Notre Dame continued to persist. I think it was embedded in me as a very young boy through my father, and which is fine. And I think I found out during those times I was really lucky that I happened to like learning, which allowed waiting to be something I could manage. And in the end, I ended up going to the University of Notre Dame and doing my master's in business. The experience was everything I wanted it to be. When people ask me about it, it's difficult for me to put the brakes on in that conversation. There is something about getting the connection right that never, ever leaves you. And I think that's why I start from a very high level place when I speak with kids around how they are feeling at the moment, recognizing that we all grow into something else. And my career forevermore has been focused on education. My degree at Notre Dame is specifically in not-for-profit business, and that's the field that I've been working in ever since. And it has really taught me that the time spent and the patience required sometimes is well worth it in the end. And I'm happy over the course of the morning to connect with anyone as well who would be interested in chatting about sort of the experience of going through that process. I won't focus too much right now on that application process, but certainly happy to chat with anyone if they're interested at all. Thank you.